Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Bismarck. I know, it's crazy. Why would I do such a thing? Honestly, it's because of you guys. I don't like to play the ship. I don't like it at all. But you guys like the ship, so I like to play it for you guys once in a while, occasionally, very rarely. This game is not going to be about damage. It's not going to be about anything. If you've read the title, it's pretty clear. No good deed goes unpunished. That's how this match is going to play out. I'm going to try to do a thing to help a teammate, and I'm going to pay the ultimate price for doing it. If you're ready, we're gonna have a interesting time in this match. And the sad part is, this was a 100% winnable match had I not done this one thing to try to save a teammate. But we'll see. I'll let you guys figure it out, and then I'll point it out when we get there. But right off the bat, we're shards. We're on this Charlie spawn. We're not in the middle of the map for once. So we're gonna push up. We're gonna see what's out there, and then we're gonna push around the left side of the map. There's only one destroyer. There is a carrier on each team, and for the most part, we're up against a couple of cruisers and a bunch of battleships. It's a pretty nice game for a battleship. A lot of damage to be had, and very few major threats other than other battleships. Sure, you got the carrier, meh, you've got the destroyer, but what are the odds that the destroyer ends up right on front of us? And then, of course, you got a couple of DPM cruisers. Now, unfortunately, we get spotted right off the bat. There's a smoke screen. I'm thinking, oh, who the heck could this be? Well, let's be honest. There's only two people in this. Well, three people that have a smoke screen in this. One is the destroyer, one is the Zara, and one of them is the Roma. Now, given that we just got hit by battleship caliber AP and didn't get anything spotted, we're gonna have to go with, it's gotta be the Roma, right? Now, I figure what happened was, given the location of that smoke screen, that it's actually the Zara pushing in that lays that smoke screen. And it's the battleship behind the smoke screen who's far enough out that he doesn't have a smoke firing penalty when he fires his guns, and lo and behold, I am correct. Now if you look, I have a destroyer on this cap, and I have a battleship behind me. I don't want to do anything crazy here. I want to push up and get into a position where we could potentially punch this Zara, and the Venito is there as well. So we do, in fact, have quite a bit of firepower against us, and both these guys have rolling smokes. So we got to be careful there. Keep that in mind for later. Now, Zara comes out. We've got a perfect opportunity to remove this man. He's angled slightly. We go through the bow side plating. We delete him. And we get one Citadel and then 3 overpins because reasons. It's unfortunate, but it is a thing. We have him selected for our secondaries. We know he's torping. He's got the slowest torps on the planet. So we're going to go ahead, slow down, turn out, have our sonar running so we see it coming. But notice that nobody's shooting this man. We have taken all of his health with our guns and our secondaries. Like, this man is just sitting here getting away with it. And then, of course, Bismarck's Bismarck, we take a shot on him and one shell hits the target. Then he immediately smokes up. And, yeah. Look at my battleship's positioning on my team. And look at my destroyer's positioning on my team. Keep these two in mind as this match progresses, because both of them will showcase just why some days it's better to just not turn the game on. But yeah. So we have Zara here. He's launched torps off the other side of a ship. We expected as much. Finally, the Kansas decides to use his guns, and we are going to try to get out of this. We take one torpedo. Fortunately, we use our damage con. We're going to be able to get away from this. Now, I know that there is more than just the enemy Venito here. I'm not an idiot, okay? This ain't my first rodeo. We've been here. We've done the thing. We noticed that there was another battleship heading our direction. Now, I don't know what that other battleship is, but we know that there's at least 2 battleships here. At least. Because we know the Venito and we know the unknown mystery battleship is here. Now, we also know that the destroyer is in Bravo. So we're good from that. What I did not know was that It's not just one mystery battleship coming this direction, it's multiple mystery battleships coming this direction. There's a Colorado, as well as the Prince Heinrich, and the Veneto here. Now, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure out that this is a very, very dangerous situation for us, because look at where the Prince Heinrich is. Now remember, Prince Heinrich gets torpedoes. So the last thing we want to do is be within 6 kilometers of that Prince Heinrich. Right? So we've got him detect. Well, actually, our destroyer or our battleship has him detected at the moment. And so we don't want to pull out in front of him. So we initially reverse, thinking, okay, if he pulls around the corner, we don't want to get detected right away. We want to be able to. And then the genius that is our destroyer decides, I'm going to pull out in front of this battleship that has torpedoes and sonar. Not just any sonar, long-range sonar, because it's German. And I'm going to stop in a smoke screen and sit right in front of him. And better than that, I'm going to sit in said smoke screen broadside in front of a freaking battleship with long-range sonar and then not even bother trying to torp him. I know. I don't understand it either. That is not the teammate that we are planning to save, because he was a lost cause. There's some people that there is just simply no saving. Now watch what I'm doing. I am withdrawing. Why am I withdrawing? Because I am still lit up by the freaking sonar of the Prince Heinrich. I'm expecting to get shot here as soon as they get their guns loaded. And I run right into my glorious teammate that is the Kansas, who is in an absolute beast of a ship. Now this Kansas has done basically nothing up to this point other than yoink our kill on the Zara and sit in the back of the map behind an island for the majority of the game. His rather big brain moment is going to show that he wants to push straight into this smoke screen. Now, this actually ends up not being the worst possible thing he could have done, because all of the enemies have decided to go behind the island to come outside and fight us. Now, this ends up putting him in a decent position for a crossfire. So, I don't hate him yet. This isn't a bad play, because the enemy did what either he expected them to do or just happened to play into a good position for him. Kansas gets a decent shot and somehow misses every single one of them at less than 3 kilometers from a, we'll just say, an over-angled Veneto. Now, obviously, Bismarck is not in a very good position here. We do have our secondaries going, which is great. We have a broadside look at the Prince Heinrich. We also overmatch Prince Heinrich, so we're going to aim high, try to get above that belt armor that we know he has. And unfortunately, Bismarck, again, showing its freaking inconsistent main guns, manages to miss with the rear turrets after we hit him with the front gun. Our secondaries, however, at these ranges are actually doing a fantastic job of hitting the target as we're getting fires. That's the third fire we've gotten out of our secondaries. Now here, I kind of go a little bit too far forward. I'm not able to keep the secondaries going. I'm not actually able to help our Kansas here. Our Kansas has managed to lose all of his health because he's been basically broadside to a Veneto and a Prince Heinrich this entire time. Now, he's using the island to scrape them off, but there is still a Colorado out there. And it's at this moment that I make a decision that's going to come back and bite me almost immediately in the butt. I am going to turn in and try to get a full broadside into the full broadside of a Veneto at close range. Now, even a Bismarck should be able to hit a broadside battleship at this range. And an Italian battleship, especially a high-tier Italian battleship, at this range, broadside is almost a guaranteed depth strike. Not quite as easy as the Russians, but it's right up there. So I'm thinking, okay, I can remove this guy very quickly, but look, he immediately goes smokescreen, and as soon as he kills the freaking Kansas, he goes dark. And that's going to allow him to flip around and get all of his guns to bear on me. And now I have run into the island. And this is where things go horribly, horribly wrong. Obviously, we're spotted by the plane. Fantastic. And he's in a smokescreen flipping his guns around. Now, the guns don't take that long to rotate on the Italian battleships. It's one of the good things about him. But he gets his main guns around from the front, gets a full bow in, salvo in, and just punches us. And now we're stuck here broadside. You can see I'm starting to panic a little bit, trying to go forward. I'm trying to turn my ship to the right as much as we can. Prince Heinrich obviously coming out to try to get a full broadside into us. We're angled relatively well for that, but they're not the only ones. As our secondaries keep churning away, there's a Balti out there, and I don't really have a good look at him. Now the carrier's coming over to make sure that I have all the fun. So now I've got a Prince Heinrich, a Colorado, a Veneto, and a Baltimore, all trying to kill me. Not to mention the carrier. Yeah, and unfortunately, I tried to get around the island using the map, and I miscalculate just how close I was to the island, and now I'm beached broadside in front of Colorado, and all of the bad guys that we've already previously mentioned. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out how this one's gonna end, boys. We do manage, in our dying breath here, to get as much damage as we can possibly get out of this match. Like, we do get a solid result here. 3 overpins on the Colorado. We're angled. We're actually somehow not dead after the Veneto fires, but Prince Heinrich, or no, I got that wrong. Prince Heinrich fired and completely whiffed, and then the Veneto manages to finish us off. Again, we're over-angled, we're sitting there basically broadside, we're stuck, and they're shooting fish in a barrel. And so, unfortunately, that is what cost us this game. It wasn't the fact that my teammates made stupid plays, it was the fact that I made a stupid play where I should have read the situation a lot better and realized that my Kansas was going to die regardless of me trying to help him. You know, they say the road to destruction is paved with good intentions or something along those lines, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? I didn't mean to do that. Please, continue. You were saying something about best intentions?
I think that's what it says. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember the saying off the top of my head, but it sounds about right. The road to destruction is paved with good intentions. And that was absolutely the best of intentions. Unfortunately, the execution was a bit flawed. And because of that, my team loses this match. These guys are not going to play well. They had pretty much full health going in, but the enemy has a pretty solid crossfire. They've got the Colorado further out. They've got a Heinrich that's leading the middle, and then the Veneto around the left side. They've got a good, decent crossfire here because my guys can't bow tank everybody. And honestly, the Caracciolo can bow tank, but he's already dead because broadside to a Colorado doesn't end well. And then North Carolina, you can't even bow tank these guys. Like, every one of these guys overmatches you, so even if you did bow tank here, you're not going to live long with North Carolina in this sort of situation. Unfortunately, he doesn't even bow tank. He's kind of angled against the Heinrich, though 16-inch guns, and then the 15-inch guns of the Veneto go straight through the bow, and the Colorado reaches out and touches him, and it's just not long for this world. And that's going to leave the carrier. And you can see the Baltimore is very low health, I think. That's hanging out there. Maybe the Balti died? No, I think Balti's still alive. I think that is the Baltimore that is going after our carrier. But yeah, I mean, North Carolina's not long for this world. You can see just how quickly things can fall apart. Our team had the 2-cap advantage. If I live and just kite away, I draw the enemy's fire away from the rest of my team and potentially get them caught in a crossfire where they have to pay attention to me and my 2 teammates. And they can't do both. They're either going to bow tank me and be broadside to my 2 teammates in the middle, or they're going to bow tank them and be broadside to me. And that's what I should have done in this situation. So this is a different kind of replay, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. There's only one person left on the friendly team. It is a Pobeda, and I will be honest with you guys. I know I'm not one to talk about how bad I am in carriers. Like, I am terrible in carriers. This guy makes me look even better somehow. If you have skip bombs or torpedoes, and you have one ship heading directly towards you, try to come in from the side. Just a thought. This man takes like 3 different drops to finally kill this Balti who's got no hit points. All he had to do was swing out and come in from the side, and it's guaranteed kill. Whether you use skip bombs, whether you use torpedoes. Torpedoes, for me, from the Pobeda, a lot more difficult to use from the side because they're so slow and they have such a massive arming distance. However, he's dropping them from the front, which I don't hate from these torpedoes because it's a tight group, so he's pretty likely here. But you'll notice that the first one that he would have hit doesn't kill him, but he over-rotates and catches one which does arm on the side of his ship. So he does manage to take out the Balti, and unfortunately, this game's over. Like, there's 40 seconds left. This guy's not going to come back and win this. The game was so close. So close. And if I had just held out and not made that stupid play, our team wins this guaranteed. It was my own ineptitude that caused this loss. Nobody else's. Despite having players that were next to us that were basically non-existent for the majority of the match. We still could have won this match had I survived and set up that crossfire. 100%. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Also, big things are happening today at noon. We will be having, well, this video is going to go up probably around 8 a.m. So in about 4 hours, make sure you guys check out the new video. It's going to be on a new game. Well, it's not a new game, but a mobile game that I highly recommend. It's a paid promotion, the first paid promotion on the channel. So please, guys, if you guys can help me blow that up, I would appreciate it so that the channel potentially gets more offers like this in the future. But top of the leaderboard, despite our terrible decision, and yeah, 114,000 damage would have been much better if I hadn't screwed up, because we had saved our hit points pretty well up until that dumb decision. But either way, if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.